Alright, and one more, and that's going to be lesson body. Alright, so a lesson is going to be nothing more than just an HTML page. Alright, there's a lot of, this is a pretty good size project in terms of files and coding. So I need to keep some things really simple, like the lessons. It'll just be a document. Alright, so that looks good as far as a schema. Next, what we want is to create a class variable. So it's going to be class equals module.exports, and I'm going to set that to the model, which is going to be mongoose.model class. Alright, and then we just need to pass in the class schema as well. Alright, so now we can create methods in our model. So let's create a method to fetch all classes. Alright, so we're going to have to do module.exports.get classes, and that's going to be equal to a function. Alright, and this function is going to take in a callback and also a limit, which is going to be optional. Alright, so what we're doing is we're just making model functions, and we can access these functions from outside in our route file. Alright, so to get classes, this is actually really simple. We're going to take our class object, and we're going to call the find method. And in here we just want the callback, and then we can say .limit, and then we'll pass in the limit. Okay, very simple. And the limit is optional. So we'll save that and then go back to index.js, and we need to, of course, include our class file, our class model. So we'll say require, and this is going to be in models/class. Okay, so now we can use that class object. So we'll say class dot get classes, which is the function that we just created. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so get classes, and that's going to take in the callback. Okay, and that function is going to have error and classes. Alright, and then we'll say if there is an error, then we'll go ahead and console.log error, and let's also just send the error to the browser. So we'll say res.send, and that's going to take error. Alright, so then we'll do an else, and we want to render. So we'll say res.render index, and instead of passing a title, we don't need this, we're just going to pass in classes, and we're going to set that to the classes variable. Whoops. Alright, so this here is coming from here. Let's save and reload. Alright, so it looks like we have an error here. Undefined is not a function. Schema. Oh, okay, so this S in schema has to be a capital. Alright, so let's reload. And we haven't grabbed anything from the database yet, so it's still going to be static. I just want to make sure it works, which it doesn't look like. What the heck? Alright guys, I think I know the issue. In app.js, we never connected to our database. So we need to take this mongoose variable here. Okay, so mongoose dot connect. All right, so to connect, we need the location, which is going to be MongoDB, and it's going to be localhost / eLearn, not SLearn, eLearn. All right, and then we're going to say variable DB is equal to mongoose.connection. All right, so let's try that. Hopefully that fixes it. Okay, so it didn't. At least it's giving us an error. Let's see. Object is not a function. Connection is not a function. Mongoose.connection. Oh, we need to get rid of these parentheses. There we go. All right, so we know we're connected. We're passing in the results. Now we need to loop through them and make these classes dynamic. Okay, so we'll go to classes.handlebars. I'm going to get rid of 2 of these. Okay, and we're just going to create a loop here. So to do this, we're going to use handlebar syntax, and we'll say, we need this hashtag, and we'll say each classes, and then down here, we need to just do / each. And it's as easy as that. Now we need a heading here. We'll just say latest classes. Actually, let's do an H4. Alright, now to replace this static stuff, we need to just put the field name in. Whoops. Okay, which would be title. Okay. And then description. Why do I keep doing that? You can see that this is quite easy. I think it's a lot easier than Jade. And then the button here is going to go to /classes / and then we want the class ID. Whoops. Okay, class ID, so we just want _ID and /details. Alright, so we'll save that, reload, and there we go. There's our classes. Now for the limit, if we go back into index.js and go down, we want to go after this function. So right here, we'll do a comma, and then just to show you that it's working, we'll just say 1. Okay, so if I reload, we only have 1 class. Now I'm going to set the limit to 3. So I'm going to change this to 3. Alright, so the home page, well, at least the class part, is done. Now I basically want to do the same thing on the classes route. Alright, so let's go ahead and create that. Alright, if we go to app.js, we're going to replace, actually, we're going to have a users route, so just leave that. Okay, we'll just create a new one here, and we'll call this classes. And it's going to go to routes classes. And we got to do the same thing down here. Okay, so this will be classes and classes. Alright, so now if we go to routes, we'll create the new file, classes.js. And then for the views, what we're going to do is each resource will give its own folder. So views, new folder, classes, and then I'm going to create a new file and save that as index.handlebars. Alright, so open that up, and I'm just going to paste in a block of code here. Okay, so basically we're doing the same thing, each classes, and then we're going to give it the class of block, and then just spit out the content. Okay, so we'll save that, and now we need to go to the route. Okay, and let's just copy the index route for now. Alright, get rid of this comment. And we're going to say get classes, but we're going to render classes/index. And I think that should be good. Okay, so we'll reload, go to classes, and there we go. One thing though, I don't know why the student login is down here. Oh, I don't think it's including our CSS file. So go to layouts and go to the main layout, and let's put right here before style sheets, we'll put a slash. Okay, you want to do that everywhere. Okay, we'll save that. I guess that wasn't it. Huh. Alright guys, I think I found the issue here, the display issue, and that is in our layout, we don't have an ending div for the 9 column. So you just want to throw that in there. There we go. Alright, so let's create the block class because I want to just kind of put a border around. So we'll go into style CSS, which is in public, style sheets. Alright. Okay, so I'll just paste this in. Background, border, padding, and margin. Alright, so I think that looks a lot better. So now we have, whoop, what happened here? That's really weird. Let me look into this, guys, and I will be back. Alright, so in the index.handlebars, not the one in the classes folder, the one in the core views folder, I had this div. If you have that, just get rid of it, and that should fix the issue. Alright. Alright, so in the next video, we will make it so that we can view a class info page. Alright, so if we go to classes and class details, that should give us all the information for that particular class. Alright, so we will do that next.